All right, everyone. What is going on? We are live. Thank you so much for tuning in. My apologies about being a little bit late today. I had set for 12:45, but I had to push it back to 1 o'clock. Just got busy with a few things. But anyways, thank you so much for joining me. My name's Odum, and welcome to the Unconventional Mindset. And what we do right here every Monday through Friday, we get together on YouTube and we get to work on how to build ourselves a company which is going to generate us $1 million in revenue every single year. What was it? Last year we made just under $100,000. This year we're going for $250,000. And if you've been watching any of the streams for the past week or so, we've been working on releasing our new website, which is live now, which of course is Pixel, which is going to be a platform that is going to educate people on how to learn the pretty cool thing of building websites, web design, and some web development. And of course, we also have Pixel Pieces, which is our product that we have, where you can get WEBFLOW components and you can kind of start putting together your own websites quickly. Anyways, so that's the company and the business that we're working on. But today, I thought what we would do before we get into really pushing on all the content and stuff that we're going to be delivering and making, but we should take a little bit more of an overview of what our business is doing today and kind of how much money we're spending. And I just figured it'd be a good thing to kind of just go over that stuff today. Kevin, how's it going? Welcome. Almost halfway through the year, we're able to give a status update on that goal. In terms of the goal, in terms of the $1 million or the 250,000. So basically this year, so far, what I can say is that I haven't been trying to get any new clients. So I haven't been doing very much work in that front, and it's just been doing more of the R&D side, the back end. So this year we've made about $30,000 or something like that. So it's obviously a whole lot less than what we want it to be. And so putting a lot of eggs in the basket, if you will, in terms of this new business model that we're kind of in the process of working. So yeah, that's kind of where we are with that. Brent, how's it going? Sorry delaying the stream for 50 minutes. Jokes aside. Yeah. Sorry about that. Anyways, but we're here nonetheless. Just a few things I had to take care of. Doing well. Can't complain at all. It's a it's a gorgeous day out there. So we're going to be going probably for a walk a little bit after this. So doing really, really well. Q3 and Q4 is all you think. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, 2025 will be the year of Pixel. I'm hopeful, man. I'm really hopeful. Because 2025 is the year that I also turned 45, which is kind of my internal thing of like, that's when I want to be, quote unquote, a millionaire. The money and the number doesn't really mean anything to me, but it's just at least a goal to kind of work towards anyway. So I think that's kind of fun. Although, if I had $1 million in the bank, obviously that would be fantastic. I would love to have that, but it's not the end all be all in terms of, being happy and living a good life and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, so what I thought we would do is I pulled up this here in my QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is the software that I use to track like every single penny that goes in and out of the company. And this is a report here on all the money that we've spent to date on subscription services. So let me put it down here. So we have this. Rolando, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today? So this is all the money that we've spent so far today on subscription services. We got a little bit of software here, but on subscription services is kind of what we want to focus on today. So we spent $18,000. Can you see that? Yeah, it's kind of a little small, but we spent $18,678.95 to date in software. And that is in a year and a half, or maybe more than that, because in September, it will be our 2-year anniversary. So almost $10,000 a year in subscription software, which is a lot. So I don't know if you guys have heard, I guess we'll talk about this real quick. I don't know if you guys have heard stuff about Adobe, and I got wind of this at this Louis Rosman, one of his videos. So I check up on his channel every once in a while because I love the stuff that he does in terms of like right to repair and putting the rights of the customers over top of corporations. And so I don't want to go on too much in terms of like this video and what he's talking about, but basically Adobe, I guess they changed or trying to sneakily change their terms of service, which basically means that they can look at all of the content that you do, at least that's on the cloud, and something even about the fact that they can have rights or access to all the art and the stuff that you actually create. I don't know. It's really, really weird. You kind of have to look into what they have on the terms of services. They've been backpedaling pretty hard over the past week. So anyways, yeah, I don't want to get into it involved because I guess for me, I've just been kind of looking for excuse to get out of the Adobe ecosystem because bottom line for me is it's really expensive. I mean, it's really good software, but I'm not at the professional level where I don't need to use that. And I find, what I'm paying right now, if you take a look at Adobe, I have Adobe Stock and Creative Suite. So I paid $860 into the Creative Suite so far and $900 into the stock. And to me, that's almost $2,000. I think that's way too much money. So I think in lieu of what just happened, I think it's a good push to try to get it out of kind of our daily like software that we use. The thing about Adobe using your work to train their AI models, yeah, I think that was a big thing too. Is they wanted to be able to look at everyone's artwork and then be able to use that to train their models. And I guess from what Lewis was saying, that they just kind of changed their wording in terms of just did a little bit slight of word in terms of saying, oh, it's not because it's AI, but it's more of like these other terms that are like synonyms of what they're actually doing. So it's just very shady business tactics. And it's just like, you know what? I don't even have time for any of this kind of stuff. So let's see if we can move on and find something else. So Rolando, yeah, 7,500 on WEBFLOW. Yeah, it gets expensive for sure. But to be fair on this, a lot of this is, or pretty much all of it is stuff from clients. So I charge out to my clients as well too. So I'm not footing the bill for all of these plans. So, but yeah, it can get pricey, obviously, if you have lots of sites. But that being said, if you look at my sites, so we have Pixel, I have a personal podcast site, and then we have another one that's hosting all of the components. So that's 3 sites for sure that I know that I have that I'm paying for. And I think maybe the rest are probably all client work. So that's the thing. I use Photoshop pretty much every day. Like it's here. It's even open right now. I was just doing some stuff. Like I get stuff from clients and I have to update images and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I use Photoshop every day. And that's what we're going to find out. So there's Affinity Photo. I've heard of these guys since way back in the day. And they have Affinity Designer, which is the Illustrator, the Illustrator competitor. Then they have Photo, which is the Photoshop competitor. And then Publisher, which is the InDesign competitor. And from what I know about these guys is, well, number one, it's on 50% sale, which is fantastic. So we're going to buy it. But it's you buy once and then that's it, right? So all apps, no subscription, $110. And away you go. So how good is it? I don't know, but let's find out. So yeah, because I that's the whole thing. I've been using Photoshop since even before it was Creative Suite. It was like, I don't know, it was like 16, 17 years ago when I started using Photoshop. So back when you could actually still buy it. I mean, I think the last one I bought was Creative Services 6. That's when you could actually still buy it as a whole package, and it was like $600 as like a student or something like that. So Rolando, use Affinity Photo and Design. Also use Pixelmator. So Pixelmator, that word sounds familiar, but I don't know exactly what that software looks like. But yeah, there's lots of alternative tools out there. So I haven't heard of Pixelmator. Do you like it? And is that more of, I would imagine that is more of like an Illustrator competitor. So let's put this in here. Yes, let's get started here. So maybe we can even open up Affinity Photo, and then we're going to go into Adobe and just kind of cancel everything too. So kind of force me, and then we'll see in the next month if I end up having to go back. It's like Photoshop for Mac and works amazing. Okay, does it cost any money? Pixelmator. I got a Pixelmator. I'm just kind of curious. Professional image editing tools that anyone could use. That's the one thing I'll say it's good about Mac is that if you have like their tablet and their pen, you could have a really good because they have really good apps for drawing. Buy now. Let's just see how much it costs. $50. That's not too bad. So one thing that I bought Clip Art Studio, and that's because I have a tablet. So I have this drawing tablet. It's just like a Samsung. I don't even know what it's called. Whatever. But I have that too because my daughter does lots of drawing and illustration. So, and I didn't want to put Photoshop on there, so I was like, oh, just Clip Art Studio. I think it's like $35, but it's a subscription, so it's still kind of once a year, which is kind of really annoying. Anyways, so let's check this out. Hang on a second. I'm just gonna hide whatever this password generates. So let me regenerate that one. No, not that one. Can you generate a different password? Let me see if I can refresh. Oh. Okay, sorry guys. And all right, save that. Stay informed about news. No. And okay, and we can create an account. Yeah, 56 American. Yeah, it's not a bad price at all. Okay, so now account details. Yeah. Oop. Sorry. Just gonna hide this. City, Nova Scotia, China, Canada. Use this address. Continue. And now I just need to show you this. I just need to check out. So I will take care of that. Oh, in a second. Just don't call out my number as I'm typing in my details here. Again, the way I see software and technology now, of course, Adobe they're really good at what they do, except for video editing. Video editing, I use Resolve, and it's like even better than Adobe's products. Okay, download. What was I saying? Yeah, the technology is so great, and there's so many amazing developers that I think that these other programs are going to be able to do like 95% of the stuff that you can do in Photoshop. I think if you get to the really more advanced, like professional level stuff, that then maybe you're going to maybe wish that you had Photoshop, especially maybe if you're doing a lot of collaborative work as well, like say you're doing stuff for movies or whatever. But even then, I feel like there's lots of good workarounds. Anyways, that's just my thoughts anyways. Okay, desktop downloads. Yeah. What's the difference here? Whether it's an executable or not. I'll just download the first one. And let's just put that in downloads. Download this one. And download this one. Gotta be careful so I don't flash the license key. Okay. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to cancel my... One of the things too that was really annoying about Adobe stock was that every month you get like 10 credits or whatever, but then I had a bunch of months where I didn't actually use the credits and I was still paying. And then I had like, 50 credits. And then I went to cancel my account. This was probably last month. And I went to cancel my account and they said, well, you're going to lose all your credits. And I'm like, it's so annoying. You pay for something, but then you want to close your account or stop getting billed. And they're saying, if I stop getting billed, then you're going to lose all your credits. But it's like, I paid for them. So what right do you have as a company that I pay for something, and just because I want to discontinue my subscription, you have to completely eliminate the stuff that I had already paid for, that's mine? It's so stuff like that is just, it just drives me insane that a company can just behave that way. And I don't know, I just think of the things that, like how I would want to be treated. You should kind of like reverse that and put that into your company. I don't know. It's just very strange. All right, so let's manage the account. Okay, this is, I guess we want to, yeah, so we have 2 of them here. So let's manage this plan. And I want to cancel my plan. I wonder if they're going to come up with any messages if they've been having lots of cancellations over the past while. Okay, canceling your plan today means your subscription will end in 10 days. Yeah, okay, that's fine. We're sorry to see you go. Which one best describes your experiences? It doesn't have a I don't like your business option. I'm not using the products often enough. Maybe I'll say it's too complicated. Oh, I could put in some comments. I don't like... you know what? Forget it. They don't even deserve to know. I don't know. I don't have time to explain to them how to do business. Can we help you switch products or change? No thanks. Before you decide to cancel, consider these offers. The next 60 days are on us. Save $77. Keep your Adobe stock, 10 assets a month, and save. Discount for your next year to $25. Interesting. Yeah. No thanks. No thanks. Yeah, Sam, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. They make it so hard to cancel. Yeah, they do. Okay, so now let's confirm that cancellation. All right. So goodbye, Adobe stock. So that's that. And now we need to close our Creative Cloud. So this one, yeah, okay. I do know that I am using their fonts in quite a few web projects. So, I wonder what's going to happen there. I'll have to keep an eye on it, but we're going to probably have to purchase a font or two, which I think I'm happy to do, even though they're more pricey, or switch over to a Google font. Anyways, okay, so what do we want to do? Yeah, this is $72 a month. Yeah, this is expensive. So let's cancel this plan. Let's see what they say. We're trying to cancel this one. Okay. Oh, so I got 11 days. So maybe I have 11 days to figure out what's going to happen with the fonts. Access to thousands of Adobe fonts will decrease. Okay, so I might still have limited access to the fonts, which will be kind of cool. Because that's one service that I actually do really like from Adobe. Well, again, like I said, I like their software for the most part. Okay, continue. We're sorry. Yeah, but the thing is you can't download. They don't give you access to the actual like TIFF files or WAF files or anything like that. TIFF files, I don't know, they're not TIFF files, but whatever they are, the true type fonts or whatever. So you can't even download anything. So they just install it directly through whatever they have through the Creative Cloud thing, and you just add the fonts through there. You can't actually just get a font file, which would be nice because then I just access it, download all the fonts, and then I would just have it. Okay, so we're sorry to see you go. Which one of these describe your experience? It's too expensive, technical, change. It's kind of the same thing. Let's just say it's too expensive, which it is. but I mean, that's not the real reason. Maybe, okay. Think about your terms of service. Maybe I'll just put that in there. And continue. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. No, thanks. Make sure I click on the right thing. Let's see what kind of offers we're going to get. We're going to get 60 days for free if we want to. Or find a plan that's right for us. Nope. And Photoshop. Switch to Photoshop from your current plan. So that's just Photoshop. Yeah, $30 a month. Woo. That's expensive. Okay, no thanks. And confirm cancellation. Okay. Well, that wasn't so bad. All right, so we just saved ourselves 72 plus 39. I'll say 70 plus 40. That saves us 110 Canadian every single month. So that's not too bad. So I like that. And that's like 100. So that's like $1,200 a year that we'll save. That's pretty good. And if we ever start making some more money and it's something that our staff or whatever would want, then we can go ahead and get it back. And if they, change their act or whatever. Okay, so let's take a look at whatever subscription services we have. So we use 1Password, or I use 1Password to manage all my passwords across all of our software. So that's pretty important. So we kind of need that. These ones are done. Amazon Prime, probably going to cancel this at some point. But there's just some things, I'm not a big Amazon fan, so please don't judge me too much for using Amazon. I'm not the only one. But not the biggest fan, but there are some things that if I need for the office or whatever, it can be delivered very, very quickly. So that's, that's why I have that. Kevin, heads up on the cancellation policy from Adobe. They're vicious. I was able to escalate my complaint to have it waived. This was a few months ago. So what was the cancellation policy? Did you have to pay extra fees? Because I went through the whole process. It didn't say I had to pay anything. So, and if I go back here or here, access unused credits, I don't have that. Access your apps. So I canceled the plan. So it doesn't say, maybe it's because if you had like a yearly plan, I think I was on the month to month actually, which is like, why would I do that? That's more expensive. Then maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's why. They wanted to charge me a few $100s. I may have been on a different plan. Yeah, I would imagine you were on the year to year and then you wanted to cancel and then they maybe wouldn't prorate it and give you a partial refund or what have you. Right. And it's on Alter. Okay, yeah, let's go through this and let's look at like line by line here. So Amazon Prime, yeah, I mean it's $10 a month. It's not the end of the world, but if I need to cancel, I probably will think about it. So Art List. So this is kind of annoying. It's actually really expensive. So this is Art List. So this is basically royalty-free music. So I really love these guys. But what I've been paying for, I don't know what it was, but did they change their plans? They changed their plans. It's like so much cheaper now. I'm on a plan that's like $400 a year or something like that. I think they changed their plans. Social platform. Anyways, whatever. They're basically a place to get royalty-free music. And what happened was I was using them for 1 year and then I forgot to cancel the account. So then I got charged for a whole nother year. So it's like basically 2 years at, 1,100 divided by 2. So, or whatever the cost is. So I probably don't want to pay that anymore because I don't even know if I'm going to be using music in the upcoming videos that I'm going to be doing. So that's a big expense. So we can see if we can cut that out. So Asana. So Rolando, this is what you're saying is Notion could be an alternative. So one of the things that I use Asana the most for is interacting with my clients and to be able to invite them to specific projects and then they could leave, the tasks or whatever for me to handle. It's super, super important. Now, if it was just me, I think I would definitely go into something like Notion or something that's free. That's basically, or even just use like a notepad to keep track of the work that I need to do. But because I have customers, I think it's important to, I still need that. And they're very familiar with Asana and I'm very familiar with it. So it works really, really well. But what I did do is I did cut back on what the plan was, because I was paying at like the most expensive plan, which was like 80 US a month. So now I cut it back down to the most minimal that I could pay for per month. So Azure. So that's a Windows product, isn't it? I absolutely can't stand anything Windows except for like their operating system. Again, the thing is, my clients are so invested into the ecosystem of Asana, like trying to save that $30 a month, and $200-300 a year. It's not worth it trying to switch to a different platform just to save on that. So there's a balance between saving money and saving time and headaches and stuff with clients. So that's kind of what I'm putting in my mind. Check out Linear. They have a generous free tier. So I've never heard of that. Is that like obviously like a Monday or a ClickUp kind of thing? Linear Asana. I'll just Linear versus Asana. Oh, here's okay. Oh, hang on a second. And I know Notion would probably have some stuff too that you can share with other people, like invite them. But again, the clients that I have they're using Asana for their own internal stuff. So getting them to use a different tool, I don't think it's going to be a good sell for me. That was the website I suggested you check out for their highly praised website design. For Linear, well, let's see, what is Linear? Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. What is their website? Linear. Oh, maybe nicely done. So Linear. What is project management? Linear.app. Okay, there we go. If you're using Zapier, why do you need Calendly? Okay, I'll get to that in a second. Okay, so so just issues, track your work, projects. I mean, it just basically looks like an Asana kind of clone, right? But maybe it's geared more towards like project development. Build momentum with cycles. Well, that's kind of cool. Roadmaps. Okay, so that has I really love this feature in Asana. So that's cool. Cool. So what's the pricing? So free, unlimited members, 2 teams, 250. Oh, so they limit by issues. That's kind of cool. And $8 per user per month. That's a whole lot cheaper. Huh. So that's interesting. Something to think about. Because Asana Asana pricing is super expensive. No, cancel. It's not. I think it's because I'm logged in. This is a Forbes article. It's not what we want. Yeah, the business is like $25 per user per month, and I think there's something that might be even more expensive. That's expensive. Anyways, again with my clients being in Asana. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe I'll look into it because $1,200. That's a lot. That's expensive. Next to WEBFLOW, it's my most costly expense. So there could be something to that. Okay, so Calendly. Definitely, I'm gonna bookmark this so I can remember to go to it at some point. Calendly, right? So why do I need that? Was that if I'm having Zapier? So what I had Calendly for is, if you remember my old website with Pixel, there was these different buckets where people could subscribe to just join right away. Say like, hey, I want, the 2,500 a month plan, and there was a book a call, and that took people to Calendly where they could automatically schedule a call with me, so they could, we can just basically have a sales call. And on their free plan, it didn't allow me the flexibility to, I don't know, it was either an issue with not being able to integrate with my calendar and being able to put like blackout times, or maybe having a longer time period. Anyways, I needed to have the paid plan to be able to have some of the features that I needed to have that in play. But since I'm not doing that anymore, I actually canceled my Calendly like a month or two ago. So that is all payments that I made before. So I'm not paying for this anymore. So yeah, and Zapier doesn't it's just a tool for it to be able to communicate between apps. I still needed some type of calendar app to be able to book times automatically with my clients, or my clients more specifically to be able to book times automatically with me. So yeah. So I know a few web agencies that use Trello for task management with their customers. Very generous free plan too, that could work well. Yeah, I've heard of that before as well too. And I think that's probably why a lot of people use it for clients. Because actually that one's pretty straightforward, because you could use it in the Kanban area where you just go from, this is what needs to be done, this is what's working on, and like this is what's done. So it's maybe easier for clients to kind of visually see that, which is really, really, really cool. But I'm not a big fan of Trello. I used it once at a couple other startups that I was working on, and for whatever reason, I just didn't like it. I guess I've always been an Asana guy, just because their free plan was really, really good as well when I was using it. So I just kind of like that one. I like the checklist more than I like the Kanban view. Yeah, it's true. Trello is very good software as a service. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And I definitely see the appeal for it. I guess for me, I don't know. It's just one of the ones that I just didn't like the look. Maybe they've changed the look a little bit, because I always didn't really like the actual look of it. Yeah, I still don't even like the font that they use. It just irks me. They have things in list view. Okay. Yeah, they've probably gotten a whole lot better since I was using it, because I probably started using it back in I'm trying to think, like 2013, 2014. So that's like 10 years ago. So yeah. Check if you have access to Microsoft Booking. It's their answers to Calendly. I guess you missed what I was saying about how I hate everything Microsoft. And they're like, to me, they're like, I hate Microsoft more than I hate Adobe. So I can't stand Microsoft. Cause I don't know. I guess because I've always been in the academic environment at universities, and universities are always in the Microsoft ecosystem for everything. And it's you have to use it. Oh, and I just hate it. I hate it so much. I won't even use it even if it's free. But it's good to know though, Microsoft Booking, if I do need to have some type of, I have Calendly now and I have it on the free plan. So it's still available. So I think that's going to be good enough. I'll try to avoid Microsoft as much as possible. And yeah, there's Google Calendar as well too. And that integrates as well with Zapier. Yeah. So a lot of clients that I have do use Google, and they love it, having everything integrated into the whole Google workspace and everything. So that's another cool tool too. Okay, so Clipart Studio. Okay, that's just software to draw on a tablet. Domain registrations. This is just the domains that I have to purchase. Can't do much about that. Dropbox. I'm not paying for this now. So every once in a while, if I have to transfer some really large files, or transfer video files or whatever, I'd have to purchase the pro plan for a month or something like that. So that's just the expenses that I had for Dropbox, just for kind of file sharing. Is there a better way to do this? Probably having some type of better way to share very large files, but for a couple bucks here and there, I don't know. Again, how much time is going to take for me to figure out how to, put together my own NAS server or something like that. It's $200, $270 over 2 years. Not that big of a deal. So I'm okay with that. Envato Elements, 268 for a bunch of resources. I didn't pay for them anymore. I think it was a few months or maybe I don't know how long I paid for it, but I don't pay for them anymore. So this is interesting. So I use Fathom Analytics instead of using Google for tracking people on the website. Hang on. You hate Microsoft, Adobe, and Apple. A compulsive hater. Maybe. just for the big boys. I don't hate Apple products, I guess. Yeah, I do. Come on. I don't like Apple. Not an Apple fanboy. That being said, when I used to work at Shopify, everyone was, they just give everyone an Apple laptop and it's all Apple ecosystems. So I do like Unix and I do love that it works a whole lot like Linux. I wish I could just get a Linux system. And I've tried to just use Linux as my daily driver for on and off, for the past 20 years. And I always end up having to go back to Windows, whether it's something with video games or video editing or something. It's just always have to just kind of go back to Windows. It's morally right to hate Adobe. Yeah, there you see. I'm not the only one that hates Adobe. Obviously people love their Apples and there's some Microsoft fanboys too, I'm sure, out there. But Adobe, yeah. Wait, you worked at Shopify? Yeah, I did quite a while ago, back in 2012, I do believe. I was employee number 142, if I remember correctly. But that's also a story kind of for another day. So yeah, I worked at Shopify. What was my role? I was a designer. So yeah, I worked in the design team, and I was in based in Toronto actually. They just had opened up that new office in Toronto. Yeah, and I know a lot of the old people that were there. Well, they're not there anymore, but that were in that team. I was on the growth team, and I know a lot of those guys are just millionaires now because they're not working anymore. So they kind of left, but then they had all their Shopify shares, and yeah. Those were the early days of Shopify. I think at the time I was there around the 2012 and 2013 over the Christmas break, and I think it was just, what was it? I don't know. I think it was just surpassing 20 million in revenue, and then it was we want to double it for next year or something like that. I don't know. It was a lot of money back then. I mean, it still is a lot of money, but yeah, it was definitely early days of Shopify. How did I go from biology to graphic design? How could I tell the long story short? So, okay. It's a quick story time. So yeah, I got my degree in 2004. Then I was just working in and out of the university. And then I'm trying to think now. Now let's go back. Going back in time. Right. 2010. Okay, right. So after my undergrad degree, I got a job as a hydrogeological technician, whatever, just kind of a little fancy thing. I just went out in the field and installed a lot of weather stations and did a lot of hydrology work, a lot of field work. And I think it was in 2005, 2006, we had these meteorological stations that were deployed. They're 2 hours away or whatever. And we were connecting to them real time, getting data from those weather stations. And then at the time, I was like, we're getting all this data. It would be really cool if we could display that data online so we can see somewhere on some website what that data was and what was going on with the weather stations. And then I had no idea about web stuff. I had no idea how to make a website, nothing at all. And then I was like, okay, well, let's figure out how we can do this and get that data online. So I just spent the next month or so learning from a buddy of mine who was a web developer. And we're using .NET or something to, he was just kind of showing me how to program this thing to get in the data and scrub it and put it online. And then I just remember the first time I saw something appear on a website, on a web page, and then I learned about HTML and CSS. I'm like, you could actually design things and make buttons and make them have cool effects when you hover over them. I was just blown away because I've always loved art and drawing and creative stuff. So I was I can create stuff online. So I just became hooked, and I just spent all my waking time learning everything I could about web design and just making websites just for fun, kind of on my spare time and through work. So then, so that was for a couple of years, and then I went back to university to do my master's degree. So I did that, and then I was doing my master's degree 2008, 2009. And I think I finished in 2010. And in 2008, of course, was the recession, and it kind of hit Canada as well too. There was the crisis in the States, but it kind of hit Canada as well too. And when I finished my undergrad or my graduate studies, that every job that I was looking at, for like every 10 jobs, one of them was in the biology field, and all the 9 of them were in computers and like web design. So I decided to kind of take my education in terms of like being in academia and applying what I was learning and what I was teaching myself for web design to get jobs that were kind of in they were kind of a combination of, people that needed websites, but at like in the university department or stuff like that. So anyways, long story short, I ended up just getting a bunch of different jobs, just working as a designer or whatever, and kind of in the academic space. And I just kept learning and kept growing. And then, I just got just different roles in different companies, kind of more into the design space. And I've kind of gone back and forth, whether I've been working for a university or just for like Shopify or other startup companies. And that's just kind of how it just kind of grew. So yeah, that's it. That's the story. Yeah. And I've always loved the artistic aspect of making websites. And that was always what kind of interested me and drove me. But then I took the whole data management stuff and kind of turned that into, so it's almost kind of this new kind of role that I've had in lots of academic institutions, was this kind of like data/creative manager, where I can help you figure out how to not only like understand your data, but to take it in real time, like process it and then display it online and just make it available to people. So it's always kind of like, it's kind of, I'm kind of created this new niche for me, which was kind of good because I never really ever worried about having a job. And and throughout the whole time, I was always doing kind of freelance stuff and just making websites on the side for clients and customers. So yeah, long story short, or short story long. Okay, so where were I? Oh, right. So I was talking about Fathom Analytics. So Google Analytics, of course, is free, but I love Fathom and like what they stand for as a business, about not spying on people when you're tracking people. Because I don't care who it is. I just want to know if someone's on the site, what page they're looking for and how long they are. So I consider that a decent investment into a company that has a philosophy that I really believe in. So I think I'm okay with that. And the same thing for Hey. So Hey is an email alternative, and they're all about privacy. And it's really, really cool because when you're looking at Hey, I don't know if I could bring it up here. Hang on a second. I don't want to flash people's emails up here. But if I go here, okay, I think this will be right. Okay, this is good. I can show this. Okay, so here is the Hey like interface for email, and what's really great is they have this little spy tracker thing here. So it says here, like if there's somebody who's using something like MailChimp, which I use and a lot of people use, they have a little like a 1 pixel thing that shows whether somebody clicked on it and whether they opened it, and like they show all kinds of data for people. So you get tracked a lot through your email. But what they do is they actually remove that, and they even tell you like, hey, this person here, like Envato Elements, Calendly, whatever, they like they're spying on you basically, and they just strip it out. So it's like it makes your email more private. It's not as private as Proton Mail, but it's kind of like the best of both worlds. So I really like it. I really like what they're doing. These are the guys at Basecamp, 37 Signals. So I don't mind supporting them either. It is expensive though. It is expensive for email, especially when you can get it for free, just with Gmail or whatever. MailChimp, $500. There's not much I can do about that because we need that for our email campaigns. So that kind of stays. So this is an alternative to Zapier. I am running a couple, I don't know what they're called, Zaps. I don't know what they're called, just processes through them, through one of my clients, and I can't really get rid of it. So we kind of need that. MemberStack is really expensive. There's not much we can do about this as well either, because that's what's driving Pixel Pieces, right? So I think if we go here, yeah, what's driving all of this, the login and the access and the payment, that's all through MemberStack. So we're kind of stuck with that until we develop our own thing. Microsoft Office. So I think I needed it for, I was doing like a live stream or live venue, and I needed to have Microsoft PowerPoint on my laptop, and I didn't have it. So I bought it for like a day, and then, I bought 365, and then I had to cancel like the next day. So I had to pay like $1.85. So that's my money to Microsoft. So Brent, yeah, Make is like Zapier. Why do you use both of them? So the reason was, for this specific thing that I needed it to do, Zapier didn't actually have the capability to track that function within that application. So I don't remember exactly what application I needed to connect, but it was something within WEBFLOW to, I can't remember what it was, but whatever it was, Zapier just didn't have that actual interaction. So when you're in Zapier, you're like, hey, what is your trigger? And they give you a list of triggers. In Make, I feel like it's even more like developer heavy. So they had more triggers than what Zapier had. So I wanted to, but I couldn't do it with Zapier. So maybe I could go back and look now to see if they can do it, because if they, they keep adding and growing their platform. But at the time I couldn't. So, yeah, so it is. But if you ever used it, even if you just sign up for a free account, if you look at the stuff that you can actually do when you're in there, it seems like they have access to more stuff when you're looking, even within WEBFLOW. It's like, oh, there's all these other things that you can do that Zapier can't do, because Zapier only has like a few, like, hey, you can just like an instant if somebody submits a form, or if somebody does, a few different things. But this one, it just had more. It was really interesting. So, and again, it was more complex. It's almost like they just like take the API and just like, oh, here's just everything you can have with this, with this platform. So it was really interesting. But yeah, it was difficult. It was more difficult to use, and the interface was just not as nice. But anyways, it's pretty interesting to check it out though. So what about canceling Zapier and then using that instead of Make? It's a good point, but I really, the ease of use of Zapier is just so much better, and I like their interface so much. But I guess the thing is too, with this Make, I built like this $220. I build it into what I actually charge my client, so I'm technically not even really paying for it. So it's not really that big of a deal. So yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So it's one of those things. Yeah. If it's for a client and it's like, oh, this is going to cost you, whatever, a couple $100 a month for me to manage their site, a little bit of that goes to this, no big deal there. Okay. What else do we have? QuickBooks, let's manage the money. Got to go with that. Simplecast, that's where I'm hosting some of my old podcasts. And Sam, I know the new podcast, I'm still thinking a lot about it. I don't know exactly when it's going to be a good time to start that, but I do want to have that, and Simplecast will probably be the tool that I'll use. I know there's other tools out there that are, number one, they're free, but this one is really nice because they actually distribute it to all the other platforms. Like they'll distribute it to Spotify, Google, Amazon now, and whatever they just distribute to all of them, which is really, really nice. And for the $15 a month, I don't mind paying that. But it does get pretty pricey. But Spotify, that's what I use to listen to music when I'm coding. So not a big fan of Spotify, but I hate ads. And I've tried just using YouTube to just listen to music on there, and I find that a little bit tough too, because sometimes when YouTube's open, you start going down the rabbit hole of watching YouTube videos, and I don't like that. And yeah, I don't know. It's music. I guess I don't mind paying that, even though I don't like Spotify. But I'll be the first subscriber to the podcast. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm really thinking about what it's going to be, and I want to make sure I'm going to have the time to be able to do it justice as well too, because there's so much marketing that I need to get done over the summer. But I really want to do it as well too. I really do want to do it. So yeah, so I'll count you in as the first subscriber. UI8, there's a one-time payment for 3-month access at $188 or something like that. So don't do that anymore. Vimeo. Why am I still paying for Vimeo? Yes, I'm still paying for Vimeo, but I think that's going to be canceled because I do have some like behind the scenes videos that are only for members on my the Odum and Andrea website. And so that's where they're hosted, but I should probably look at canceling that and putting them somewhere else. So yeah. Okay, so that's just one thing to cancel. So I'll just make note of that. Okay, so WEBFLOW, yeah, $7,500. Not much I can do about that because all my clients are on WEBFLOW, and obviously I charge that out to my clients. So that's an expense I can't really go anywhere, but that's a huge expense. That's almost like 50% of everything. And the WEBFLOW workspace, I need that. That's for the whatever workspace I'm on. I don't know what it's called. Zapier, super expensive, but again, kind of need it. Actually, I absolutely do need it. Cheaper than hiring a developer to build all those integrations. And Zoom is, I don't think I pay. No, I'm still paying for that now, but I'm on a yearly plan, and I plan to phase that out as I do less and less client work. And I have less and less. Like at the beginning, when I first started, I was on Zoom calls like 3 or 4 times a week, but now I do it much, much less. And people are using like Google Chats and Hangouts, which again is free. So Zoom is going to be going bye-bye as well too. So yeah, yeah, you can change. You can change to WordPress. Yeah, I could go to WordPress, and then that would be super cheap. But then I would have WordPress hosting, and the thing is, when I was hosting WordPress, I would always host on something like WordPress Engine, or I would host on Flywheel, which that gets pretty expensive too. And I think it's probably more expensive than a basic WebFlow site, or maybe the same, because a basic site I think is $16 a month. And then the one with the CMS is like 29 or 30 a month. And I think that's what WordPress Engine is as well too. Yeah, WordPress is free, but the ecosystem is not. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. So, but I do like, I did like, yeah, this was my hosting of choice for WordPress Engine or for WordPress. And yeah, so, and I think even at one time I did have, they changed it now. So now you can build it depending on how many sites. I think you could only get one with 10 sites. So I think I was paying something like this, where I had all my clients on like some installs of WordPress Engine. So. Right. HostGator. Yeah, HostGator. Yeah, those like HostGator and like Host Papa and even DreamHost, they're not bad. But if you have any sites that are going to get like significant amounts of traffic, that kind of shared hosting can end up slowing down pretty quickly. But I think HostGator is pretty good at having different things that can scale. So, but for the average website and the average people, I mean, using that is perfectly fine. And yeah, super cheap. Get into your cPanel and go ahead and start building. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, one last thing that we should do here, we totally forgot to do this while I was just blabbering away, is let's install our Affinity photo so we can just have a look at what it looks like. Totally forgot. Should have had this installing while talking. What is this Windows application package? Oh boy. What's going to happen when I double click on this? Oh, it's installing. Oh, interesting. Excuse me. Let me install the exe. I kind of like that better. I don't want to go through the Windows store. Okay. All right. Now let's see what we got. Okay. Yeah, this is better. Create a shortcut for this app on the desktop. No thanks. Programs, Affinity. All right. Let's install this. I hope the stream doesn't cut out while this is installing. I don't think it will. Let's close a few applications though. Don't need Spotify open right now. And we can close this down too. The problem with Affinity is there are not too many tutorials on YouTube. Well, maybe that's something that we could tap into on in our business. You know, teaching people how to be a web designer, teaching people new tools. I wouldn't mind. So some people might see that as a problem. Others might see that as an opportunity. Setup completed successfully. Okay. Let's have a look. I've never used this. I've never opened it up, and I've just heard people talking about it, but this is like totally going to be a brand new thing. Okay. Why does it, I got to activate. Okay. And password. Affinity. This is new. Oh, there it is. Oh, I spelled it wrong. That would be why. Okay, and paste. Activate. Would you like to keep your app linked to your Affinity Store account? This allows you to automatically stream any free or purchase content. Not now. I don't know what that is. Just calm down. Oh, right here. Yeah, right. Let's read all of this before we start. Oh my God. Like, come on. Please read this carefully. Like, what, are you serious? Whatever. Don't have a choice. Would you like to contribute anonymous data usage? No, I would not. We have a talk pending. Did you get back to me, Rolando, about when we could chat? Let me just check my email here. I didn't get an email from you, or did I? And I missed it. No, you didn't. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, let me know. Okay. All right, Sam. I want to get into streaming sometime next month. No plan yet. Just me creating div soup and Webflow. What PC specs do you recommend? Oh, that's interesting. Let's just close this for now. I mean, what is the biggest? I mean, I think the most important thing is your bandwidth for your internet. So that's pretty important. And then I think let me see. Want to look at let's look at our processes and see what's going on here. What's being used here? Okay, so we're getting quite a bit of use. Our CPU is okay. Our memory, yeah, I think that's just all the stuff that's open. But it looks like our GPU is being used pretty heavily. So I would imagine getting the best GPU you can is probably going to be the best bang for your buck. My bandwidth is solid 1 gigabit. Okay, yeah, that's what I have too. So you're fine. At least I think that's what I have. So in memory, I only have 64 gigabytes of memory. I want to get 120. But I mean, I found that I don't even need that. Yeah, and my CPU is Core. Like this is even old. I got this like even 2 years ago. i7 1270. I think it's unlocked as well too, but I haven't even done anything in terms of boosting the voltage or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, if you get this is RTX 3070, and I feel like the prices have gone down because I remember when I built this thing, it was kind of during the pandemic, and there was that whole CPU shortage. So prices were pretty expensive. So I think for whatever your budget is, put it into the best graphics card you can, and then the better CPU. I think that's just what I would recommend. Rolando, Sam's asking if you have a channel. I guess if can you just click on the well, you should type in Sam Gilbert. I would imagine that comes into the YouTube channel because your channel is the name. Or no, I guess it could be a little different. I think your name could be different than what your channel is. Do you have 7 discs? Yes, I do have 7 discs. Why do I need so many? Well, I think I could even just show that just real quickly. So these are the discs that I have. So I have my assets here. I have my local disk, which is only for installing programs. This is to try to keep my computer running as fast as possible. So I have, this is actually external drive. So this has old stuff that I need to move over into one of my actual internal drives. So I have a Pixel drive. These are all like solid states MV.2 or whatever, just like the little SSD cards. So they're super, super fast. So I have one for all my Pixel work. This is where I just have stuff that's working, like whether it's video editing or photos that are kind of in development. So and all my live stream stuff kind of goes here. This is all the stuff that I have with my clients. And this year I haven't set this up yet, but there's software that you can have that runs automatically that backs up everything. I want to take everything that I have here and back it up into this storage drive. So that way, if anything ever happens, everything is going to be backed up into the storage drive. So that's why I have this many drives. They all kind of serve a specific purpose, except for storage right now, which I'm so lazy to not get that thing going, but I should, because if my computer crashes, I lose everything, right? And that's not good. You don't want that. So that's bad on me. Don't do this. Back up your stuff because it's super, super important. Thanks. Do some shopping and see if you can get something decent. Yeah. And yeah, it's tough too, because again, I don't know what your budget's like. You know, if you're like, oh, I got $3,000, like US or whatever, it's like, well, just like you'll be fine. You know what I mean? So, but if you're, you know, like, oh, well, if you only have like $1,000 or what have you, then yeah, getting the I think the GPU, I think is the most important thing. I would probably just even do a quick YouTube search on guys that are more like tech oriented in terms of like what the actual specs are that you need for live streaming and like what are the things that are the most important. They might have better insights than I would have. And I use OBS as well too. So OBS probably uses lots of stuff for with the GPU, I would imagine. So yeah. 7 discs, yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I thought it was kind of tame because I still have some open slots. I'm like, I need to put some more discs in there. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into this thing here real quick. No. Okay. Let's just cancel this. Let's make a new. Oh. Okay. There was a comment in Lewis's video where it's saying like Adobe's counting on people to not want to like learn a new software. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of true. I kind of don't want to, but you know, let's, you know, print. I don't even know if I can blow this up. I don't think I can blow up the text. So if I want to just make this, okay. DPI. Well, okay. So I'm just going to create this. Huh. All right. What can I do with this? Let's say I was going to make, I know what I can kind of practice on is, let's say I was going to make a video thumbnail for this live stream. So I have this image here. Oh shit, where did it go? Now it's stuck on the canvas. So I can't just drag in something. Well, there's no layer? Huh. There's no background layer? Add pixel layer. What does that mean? Okay, hang on. This is some text. Oh, that doesn't move that. How do I select? Okay. But if I want to, oh, maybe I have to just drop this into the layer. No, drop it into here. Okay, there we go. It doesn't snap nicely. There's probably a setting, I'm sure, to make that snap. And where's the color? And can I just, oh, no, that's not working. And it's got all my fonts. Yeah, I don't know. I think that this will be fine. It's got all the regular C for crop. It's got all the... it's got some warp stuff. What does it have for... Like if I wanted to add some noise, how would I do that? So if I want to add some noise... Oh, that's denoise. That's different. Like if I had a layer, if I just, can I fill it? G. And I fill it with black. And now I want to add some noise. Add noise. Okay. So I'd apply it, and then I want to, need to overlay, right? Or whatever I wanted to do with it. Or even if it was just normal, I could just take the opacity down and add some noise to my image, make it look more retro. Yeah, I don't know. This will be fine, I think, for... yeah, no layer, no layers, switches back to Adobe. Like, what is this? This is garbage. I guess there are layers. I just didn't know how I was creating these things. No, we're not switching back to Adobe. We can't. We must remain vigilant. But interesting, it just calls like a layer pixel. Okay, interesting. And then we could have the effects. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look as nice, but I'm maybe just used to it. Select this layer. What do we have for text effects? Hang on. Or do we have to click this button? It's not allowing me to do anything here. Because I feel like I don't have a layer selected. So maybe do that and then, okay, they didn't have a layer selected. Ooh, I'm not a fan of this color picker. What is going on here? Dun, dun. Yeah, I mean, this is very similar to Photoshop, just, you know. Could use a little bit of cleaning up on the UI look and feel of it, but not bad. For $100. Yeah. Anyway, this is just doing some super, super basic stuff. I wonder, what can we do even for the image? For, how do I hide these layers? If I go here, what kind of effects do I have? So where's my curves? I can do my curves. If I want to do, you know, whatever, standard S curve. Yeah, that's not bad. 21st, okay. That's not too bad. Back to Adobe. We're not going back to Adobe. We're not going back to Adobe. We're sticking with this. This is fine. You just gotta have to learn how to use a tool, right? That's all. So how do I just X out of that? And if I wanted to do another one, no, not effects. Say I want to make this black and white. I could just go to black and white. Yeah, and I could mess around with my colors. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But this being said, I usually don't use Photoshop to manipulate photos. I'll usually use Lightroom. And for that, actually, for Lightroom, I'm going to, and that's a big thing. I use photography quite a bit. Like I take photos and stuff like that with all my cameras and gear. So I've used Capture One before. I've never paid for it, but I'm going to pay for this one. And it's $427 for a one-time payment. And I think that's just lifetime. Well, it says current version forever. So whatever, it's like Capture One 23 or whatever version they're on, that's what I'll just buy. And that is fine by me because I don't always need to have the latest and greatest features, especially for photo editing. But this one, it's great. I can do tethering if I want to shoot tethered, all that stuff. It's fantastic. It's super fast. I've done it before, and it's fantastic, especially if there's any kind of like studio photo shoots or anything like that I'm doing. But I think I'm subscribed to their newsletter, and they always have like these 50% off deals. So 427, we could probably get it for half that price. So we'll wait till there's a sale or something like that once we get it. So that'll be the difference. Like that's how we're going to switch from Lightroom. So anyways, I won't bore you guys going through the whole process of just installing all these other applications, but I don't know. I'm kind of happy with this so far. Can we have different, like, you know how there's like the essentials and there's different things you can put on for how your layout is in Photoshop? I wonder if you can do that here. You can float all. Yeah. Don't know. Doesn't look like it. But I don't mind. I don't mind how it is. Let's go to the other ones. I'm sorry, I missed this comment. I only have backups for my electronic signature to do my taxes. What are you going to happen if your computer crashes? Always good to have backups, especially for me. I got all my client stuff too. I don't want to. Oh, that timed out. I don't want to lose any of that stuff. Super important. Let's download this one. And let's download this one. I don't even really use. Actually, I do use. I shouldn't lie. I used. I'm still using InDesign for my invoice templates. Documents, downloads. All right, so we got a couple more here. The Affinity Publisher. Let's install that one. Nope. Let's install. Cry. Yeah, I guess that's what you would do if you lost all your stuff. I've had it happen before. Not because of a computer crash, but I had something happen where, and this was at work, so I don't tell work, but I didn't tell anybody when this happened. But I was doing something with transferring files from one computer to the other, and that installed fast. And for whatever reason, I ended up deleting a whole drive with it was a 2 terabyte drive, and I lost like all my work for like the past year and a half, and it was bad. But I didn't tell anybody. No one ever kind of found out. I just had to kind of like redo stuff because I lost so much work. And it sucks. It's like a gut punch feeling. It's not fun. Do not recommend. But if it's work stuff, it's work. But personal stuff, that's it. That would hurt even more. Like think about especially if you have like photos that are like super important. But that's the one thing that I do have backed up in multiple areas is like family photos that I never be able to get back because that stuff's like priceless, right? Okay, so that's all installed. I wonder if I can let me take an actual Photoshop file or something that I have, and let's see if I can open it up in another program. Ooh, yeah, let's try that. So actually, let's go. All right, so I have this. I have this InDesign file, 72 fast food icons, whatever. Let's take this and let's open this. Instead of Illustrator, let's open it up with, I guess it's Designer. Select an app to open this AI file. Yeah, that's going to be our default app now. So let's do that for always. We're switching out of Adobe here. Right, I got to accept this, whatever this is. Missing fonts. Okay, that's fine. I don't know. Let's just gonna replace it. We'll just hit OK, I guess. It is missing. Yeah, it replaced the fonts and there's missing fonts here in these files. Because I know from these don't even look like how they were. I wonder, I still have access, I think, to Illustrator. Let's just open it up in Illustrator and just see what it looks like there. Just so we can kind of compare. Oh no, it is the same. It did, well, oh, okay, geez. Sorry, I'm zooming and nothing was happening. Oh, it's just, I'm not even touching my mouse and then it's just going off here. It's just very delayed. Okay, let's see if I can. No, it looks the same. Looks like we didn't lose anything. I'm not even a good Illustrator person, so I don't even know what to do here to even try to fix this thing. But I wonder if I can see what the layers look like. Because layers were always really weird in Illustrator. So I wonder if I can export just this selection as you can usually in Illustrator. Now it's not selecting. What's going on? No. I want to... what is that node tool? Okay. So can I export selection? It just says export. It doesn't say if it's the selection or not. Oh, that's really annoying. That's one thing that I really love about Illustrator is that you can just select specific layers and just export those layers. Oh, that kind of sucks. Anyways, I don't know. There's going to be lots of playing around here over the next few months. And then, yeah, well, we're just gonna stick with it. We're gonna hang around, and we're gonna try to get as good as we possibly can with these things. And I'm sure Photoshop is going to be the one that we're going to be in the most, because that's the stuff that I use pretty much on a day-to-day basis anyways, right? So I'm going to try to open up one last thing in here. Does Affinity have camera raw filter? I don't know if it does. Just like in Photoshop. Yeah, because Photoshop, yeah, you can definitely open up raw images in Photoshop. And you can update things a lot more than you can if it's just like a straight JPEG. So I don't know if they do. I'd be surprised if they did, to be honest, because I'd imagine that's pretty difficult to make. But I'll try it. I'll try it in a minute here. See if we can open up like a raw image. Okay, well, sorry, what am I looking at? Let's go to computer. Let's go to clients. Quotes and invoices. Maybe drive templates. Sorry. Hang on here for a second. Here we go. Let's open up this thing here. All right, hang on. I'm just going to hide this for a second because I might flash some client information, which I kind of don't want to do. Sorry, just waiting for InDesign to load here. So Brent, Yeah, you use it to adapt the lighting, add texture, increase clarity and sharpening in some of my work. Yeah. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. Ba, ba, ba. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So here's an example. So this is an InDesign template. So this is like an invoice template that I have when I'm writing kind of invoices by hand. And let's just see if I can open this up with this. Choose another app. With this affinity thing. Sorry, I'm just looking at this here. Open with suggested apps. Choose an app. Oh my goodness, where is it? Oh, it's gonna be in here, I guess. Yeah, it's designer, or is it designer? No, it's publisher. I think this is the app. All right, just once for now. This type of file is not supported. Maybe that's the wrong app. I thought it was, because a publisher is basically like an InDesign, isn't it? Choose an app on my PC. Affinity. Oh, wait. I tried publisher. Maybe it's designer. No, it can't be designer. Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess we can't use InDesign files. Well, that really sucks. That would suck. Well, sorry. See you tomorrow. Got to prepare for food. Awesome. Well, have a good lunch or early supper or yeah, probably lunch, I would imagine. Anyways, yeah, you got it. See you tomorrow. Thanks for stopping by. Much appreciated. So yeah, one last thing. Let's just have a look to see if there's like a camera raw. I wonder if we just if we go here, Affinity Photo Camera Raw. Does Affinity have an equivalent to Camera Raw's texture slider? It has clarity. You find this develop for initial raw development. Has a live destructive filter in the main photo. So it might. How to edit raw photos in Affinity Photo. It might. It just might. So I wonder, is there, I don't know if I have any, let me just check. Sorry, I'm going to go through real quick. So like a raw photo that I might have and see if we can open it up just real quickly. Well, I mean, obviously I do have raw photos, but I want to make sure. It's a good one. Okay, where do I look for my stuff? Photography, personal. Okay. So there's a photo. Let me go in here. Sorry, just give me a moment here. Working photography. Okay. Okay, so here's some a raw file of a deer in the park that I saw walking. Okay, and let's open, which one's this one? Yeah, it's this one. Okay, how do we close this? Okay, so I'm not sure what's going to happen here. Let's just drag and drop this in here. Okay, there we go. So yeah, it looks like there's this develop thing here. So it shows some of the information on the camera. It shows the camera, shows the lens. So it has all this stuff. So, and it does look like it gives you, yeah, it looks like you can do some kind of raw editing because it gives you this nice little histogram here. So if I wanted to up my exposure a little bit, yeah, it looks pretty similar. Yeah. So it's not bad. I mean, again, too, I use Lightroom, so I find Lightroom's pretty good. But yeah, if you're just doing something else in Photoshop or whatever, like this is pretty. How do I zoom? There we go. Anyway, I think I was just walking down the park and there was just this deer here. I'm like, oh, let me just snap a couple photos. But yeah, you could do whatever we want here. I mean, this is a horrible edit, but it's not bad. But then say we do all this stuff and, you know, whatever, let's say we bring the shadows down quite a bit, bring the highlights up. It's already bright enough, but so how do we, I guess we just hit develop and then we get to the actual photoshopping. Right. So now I hit develop and now we're in like Photoshop. Okay. So yeah, there we go. That's cool. So Brent, when are you switching over? It has everything that you need. And how do I go back to that? Can you go back to that? You should be able to go back to that. What did I just do? I undocked it somehow. Okay, go back. Is it view? I don't know. I don't know. It's not very apparent right now. Maybe. Yeah, it won't be there. Where would it be? What's this button? Auto levels, auto contrast, auto white balance, export, tone mapping, develop. Is that it? Oh, okay. So you just hit the develop. Cool. Then you just go back and then, okay, that was stupid. Let me change a few of these things here again. Cool. So that's not bad. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever switch, but never say never. Yeah, I mean, it's, again, maybe it's just me and just like, I know the biggest thing too is, yeah, they did all that shitty stuff with the terms of service, but it's really the cost. It's quite expensive. And for the amount of use that I get out of it, or in this case, I don't get out of it, it's not worth maintaining that $110 or whatever I'm paying on a month-to-month basis. But by all means, especially if you're just using one, like Photoshop, and you're paying like $10 or $20 or whatever, not too bad. And especially if you know it really well, I mean, time is money too at the end of the day. And if it's going to save you time, why bother? Unless it gets to the point where they're so bad that you just absolutely hate everything about them, then I guess that's where you got to make a personal choice. But I totally understand and wouldn't blame anybody for staying with Adobe at all, especially because they make such good stuff too, right? It's like they almost have like the market cornered because it's pretty good. But again, for layman's people and people that are just kind of getting started, I think if people understand the alternatives that are possibly there so that they can save themselves a little bit of money, especially if they don't have a lot of money, I think these are some pretty cool alternatives, which I don't know, maybe we'll explore and we'll talk about it on our in Pixel at some point. All right, I think that's going to be it for today. Yeah, it's 2:30. Jesus, it's been an hour and a half. I thought this was going to be like a very quick, like 20-minute video, and we'd cancel Adobe and then that's that. But sometimes I guess it goes a little bit longer. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all for your support. Thank you everyone for coming in and tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow, but we're going to keep plugging away at our business and really trying to start growing Pixel here. So, all right, that's it. Whoa, sorry, this is my monitor over top of the camera. That's it for me today. Again, thank you so much. Really appreciate the support. Yeah, we'll see you next time, which is tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Delayed comment from Brent there. So I just right, I was going to click off. Take care. See you tomorrow. Yeah, take care, and definitely see you tomorrow. All right. See ya.